What's up, folks? Welcome back to the Blessed Beyond Measure podcast. I'm your host, C of the Source. Thank you once again for tuning in to yet another episode. I'm your friendly neighborhood hope dealer, back to bring you some more of that hope, motivation, inspiration, and that positivity. Thank you for the support. Appreciate y'all 100, 1,000. And today I am actually here to let you know I'm wrapping up season 3 of the Blessed Beyond Measure podcast. I think it's a great time to do that because I've hit basically 100 episodes. I think I'm right at 100. I haven't done the full count just yet, but 3 seasons in, each episode has about 35 episodes each. So I think I'm at a good place. Even if I'm not quite at 100, I think it's a good time to kind of wrap things up because I am in a new chapter in my life. If you've been following the journey, you do know that I am out here in Oahu, Hawaii, just living my life, doing my thing. And today's episode, I want to get into that. I want to provide some updates. Excuse me. I want to provide some updates. Also, just talk about the art of detachment. I think it's a perfect way to kind of talk about this topic because of what's going on in my life right now. You know what I mean? I'm in a transitional phase. I'm in a completely new area, new space in my life, turning a chapter on things. And there were a lot of different practices that I had to learn how to implement in order for me to kind of make this move happen. And detachment was one of them. I know that detachment isn't really kind of like something that you hear quite often. It's not really a common word, I guess, you know what I'm saying? But obviously it's the opposite of attachment. So it's just kind of practicing that art of becoming unattached, I guess, right? But we'll get into that. But before moving any further, as I typically like to do, is just provide a little mental health check. For me right now, in this current state that I'm in, I am absolutely at a 10. But at the moment, I got to be honest with you, I'm exhausted. I'm tired, but I'm getting my energy back up little by little. And that is simply because this past Saturday, which was July 29th, I believe, I went on my first hike out here in Oahu with some friends that I met. And it was an amazing, amazing hike. But I didn't realize it wasn't really a hike. It was more like a climb because the trail that I'm referring to that we did hike on is called the Olamana Trail, which is also known as the Three Peaks Trail. And the first peak is crazy. You're literally just climbing your ascension through the mountain. It just feels like it never ends, but it's dope. It's absolutely dope. You know, the nature, the wildlife, the people you meet along the trail. The company that I was around was amazing. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely enjoyed my experience being able to do that with them and get to know them on a more personal level. So that was awesome. But there were also moments during that trail, during that climb, where I had to face certain fears, illusionary fears, obviously real fears too, because the further you climb up, obviously that means you're getting higher and higher up, right? So the elevation is affecting my breathing. The humidity, right, of course, is making me sweat like crazy. And my body is just like, whoa, what's going on? Because y'all know me, I'm from the city of San Francisco. I love nature for sure. But I didn't realize that the hikes out here were going to be as challenging. But you know what? It's a pleasant surprise because on that hike, I learned so much about myself. I learned how to kind of put myself in a situation of adversity where my mind was kind of starting to second guess myself, but then I had to kind of control my breathing, control my thought process, and just take it one step at a time. And that's exactly what I did. And I moved at a pretty decent rate. You know, the people I was with will tell you otherwise, you know, because I'm a city boy. They do this pretty religiously every weekend, going from hike to hike and just enjoying themselves and being out to nature and things like that, things of that nature. But for me, it was such an adjustment. But it was amazing to learn that I can pull out whatever I needed in that moment to get me through, because there was specifically this one time I'm climbing along the side of this cliff, and I'm talking about climbing for real, y'all. Like there's actual ropes that are there that are that are attached to like a tree stump up there, you know what I'm saying, to kind of help you. And you're literally like, I'm literally full body on the rock. Um, so it's wild. For me, it was definitely one of my hardest hikes that I've ever done, but at the same time, one of the most rewarding ones. And I loved every bit of it. You know what I'm saying? The challenge that it inspired in me, bro. It just really kind of it helped me realize, yo, you got more to give. You got a lot more in the tank than you really think. You never really know how strong you are until strong is all you got. You know what I'm saying? So, and ain't no way I was finna turn back. You know what I'm saying? Like I committed to it, but my mind started to try to play some tricks on me. But I was like, hell no, we going. We going. You know what I'm saying? So I steered the ship in the right direction. Ultimately, made it to the top of the first peak, and then we just went along the trail and kept going. And it was amazing. When you get up there, the views are absolutely spectacular. They're breathtaking. You're so high up, and the world seems so small from that point. And it was awesome too, because the breeze up there was beautiful. It started to rain a little bit too, which was great because I was perspiring like crazy, yo. And it was a great time. But going back to the mental health check, that's why I'm at a 10, but I'm super exhausted. I took the whole day yesterday basically to recover. I got some ramen, got a bunch of fluids in me, ate some good dinner, took a shower, obviously just relaxed, worked on a few things. But today, I'm here recording this podcast. Is Monday, August 1st, and the beginning of a brand new month, y'all. And it's wild to even think that we're here now, August of 2022. We're just beginning that. And, I guess that's symbolic too, right? Because I'm turning this chapter. I've been here now for almost 2 weeks in Hawaii. Closing the chapter on season 3, about to open the chapter up to season 4, and we're beginning a brand new month. So there's been a lot of great things happening in my life, and I am so grateful right now. That's probably why my mental health's out of 10 right now. Because of all the blessings that have been making its way to me, to be real with you. And that's no cap. That's real talk. I'm being real with y'all. Like, I'm not just saying shit to say shit. I don't never say shit just to say shit. But right now, where I'm at, things are really, really happening for me. Not too long ago, I was in the Bay Area and everything was amazing, right? But at the same time, I came to a realization that I can only grow so much over here. Or I probably could have grown as much as I truly wanted to, but at the same time, knowing myself and knowing myself enough to the point to put myself in an environment where I feel that I could be my very best self and thrive, knowing that my heart and my soul and my spirit always gravitated to the islands of Hawaii. I felt like this was basically a no-brainer. Obviously, some of the things that held me back, or I allowed to hold me back, was my need for wanting to be close to my family and my friends and to everything I know, my comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But at the same time, if you really want to grow and if you know yourself and you have far-fetched goals, or what seems like far-fetched goals to other people, that only you could see, that you have a vision and that you know what you need to do to accomplish that, sometimes you need to remove yourself from that comfortability, because that comfortability, as I've said many times in several different episodes throughout this podcast, comfortability is a killer. You know what I'm saying? So putting myself in this environment, even though I've been here several times, I've never been here for this long on my own. I got a little bit of family out here. I got 3 family members out here, who I'm very grateful for. And I've met a bunch of people already, and it's been incredible. But at the same time, this is a completely brand new place to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm having to learn I get to learn how to live here in this environment. I'm learning the lay of the land. I'm learning how to get around. I don't have my car. I don't have the same comforts that I used to have. I'm learning how to take the bus. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking the bus everywhere. I'm walking everywhere, taking the bus everywhere, um, managing my money, meeting new people, kind of getting to know the spots that I like to go to and the spots that, that seem interesting that I want to go check out too. And just developing my own routine out here. And it's been amazing, yo. It's been amazing. I mean, And shout out to the Good Life with CL vlog is coming up pretty soon. You know what I'm saying? Like I told y'all, I gave y'all a little preview that I'm gonna be doing a vlog, and I got a ton of footage, yo. Enough for about 3-4 episodes already, to be real with you. But at the same time, it's not quite ready to be released yet. So that's another update I kind of wanted to provide with y'all, but that will be on its way. And the only reason why I bring that up right now in this moment is because I'm talking about all these different experiences that I've been able to have while I've been here in such a short amount of time. I've been busy, yo, just really keeping myself locked in, filling my calendar with stuff. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I've just been loving life. I definitely get a little homesick, as I mentioned in a podcast episode I did with Mook. And I told her that, I have experienced a little bit of homesickness, but thank God for FaceTime, yo. Thank God for FaceTime. Thank God for these phones and all these different ways that we can stay connected, because I feel like I'm not really missing much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I'm still there with the people that I love, but I'm just in a different place. My spirit's always there. My heart's always there with them. You know what I'm saying? And it just makes it so much more easier to stay connected and to feel that connection as well. Right. And that's really important as I'm thousands of miles away, I guess, you know what I'm saying? And in a completely different environment where I don't know many people. So, you know, but either way, this experience thus far has been incredible. I'm loving every bit of it. Blessings have just found their way to me so many different ways. And man, sometimes I can't even believe it. I'm just like, what's happening over here? But at the same time, I'm not surprised, because this is all the stuff that I've been learning, all the practices that I've been applying in my life. The simplicity of life is almost unbelievable because we tend to overcomplicate things and think that that life has to be as complicated as we make it. You know what I'm saying? And it's really not. If you live a fulfilling life, if you try to do things with integrity, do things the right way, stay learning, progressing, challenging yourself, being in control of your mental perspective, and taking care of yourself and your health, and leading with love, operating from love, doing everything from that space of love rather than from fear, and doing that thing, doing everything from understanding that the world and the universe is abundant versus that scarcity mindset, man, it's like a complete turnaround. And when you learn how to truly do that, you become like a magnet for blessings. It's wild, yo, because that's where I'm at right now. I'm starting to realize, like, damn, all these things that's happening, all these great things, these great experiences, the great people I've been meeting, the experiences I've been getting to have, you know what I'm saying? And within 2 weeks, it's been incredible. And again, it's no surprise because of the shift that I made in my life. And that's a great way to tie it into the topic of discussion today, which is detachment. Detachment has been one of the most important practices that I've incorporated into my life, because detachment is basically just learning how to let go, learning how to give things up, learning how to not get so attached to a certain thing that it becomes toxic for your health. I I definitely, for a long time in my life, would put such a high priority on accumulating things, owning things, buying, consumerism left and right. You know what I'm saying? And there's no knock on consumerism. I'm not even trying to knock that. But what I am saying is that when it comes to a point where you look at everything you have and it doesn't feel like enough, then you might have a problem, because a lot of us actually have more than we even realize, more than we even need. And then on the flip side of that, there's so many people in this world that don't even have a quarter as much as we have. And they're happy, or they're really struggling. So to kind of make that realization and then exercise compassion to the people that don't have it, and then look at all you have to be grateful for, man, it's the effect that it has on my life has been profound. Absolutely. And I'm just so grateful, honestly, because sometimes, for the longest time, I think I've shared this several times throughout different episodes. I even with Muck, I spoke about this in our conversation. There was a point in my life where I had to stay off social media because of what I was allowing it to do to my mind. I was looking at what other people have, all the blessings they had, how well they were doing in life, and I was getting this like envy, this jealousy, this like resentment. Like, what? How does this dude have all this? And we went to the same high school, or we came from the same corner in life. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, so I realized at a certain point back in the day, I got to remove myself. So I was off social media for a good 10, 12 years probably. And all my friends can attest to that. They know I just recently got back on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and all these different things. And that's only to promote this podcast. But fast forward a little bit, that jealousy and that envy is no longer there. I can guarantee you that. That's no cap. That's 100% straight facts. That's truth. Because when I see somebody winning, it makes me happy. I'm just like, yo, good for that man. Good for this. Good for that woman right there. Good for that girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I know, like, just because somebody else wins doesn't mean I can't win too. Like, it's like, it doesn't take away from what I can do with myself. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's about celebrating other people's blessings just as much as you would celebrate yourselves. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? That's a crazy way to attract even more blessings because, again, life's simple. The energy you put out is what you're going to attract in life. You know what I'm saying? If you're putting out jealousy, anger, envy, resentment, all that stuff, guess what? That's an energy in its own. And you're going to attract that type of vibe in your life. And that ain't healthy. That ain't healthy. So to again tie it into what we're talking about, the topic of discussion is detachment. Detachment is the art of letting go. Is the art of letting go of feelings, the art of letting go of material possessions, relationships, people, and just finding peace in the ever-changing flow of life. So detachment, learning how to let go, the art of letting go is also understanding how to flow. When we're holding on so strongly to something, then it's almost like if you're flowing down a river and it's all peaceful and calm, but like you're holding on to all these different things and the water is just like crashing down on you because you're holding on. It's so much easier to just flow and let the river guide you. Obviously, do a little bit of yourself. You got to learn how to swim. You got to learn how to take care of yourself and all that stuff. But at the same time, it's just like there's so much pressure in that resistance of not letting go. I don't know if that makes sense, and I hope it does. But it's something that I've really kind of learned in my life that, yo, man, things come and go, people come and go, relationships come and go, things come and go. But we really only got one life, as cliche as that sounds. It's the absolute truth. So, and at the end of the day, something I always like to say, you can't take none of this shit with you when you go. I'm talking about when we pass away. All this fancy shit that we got, that we put such a high priority on accumulating, can't take none of that with you. But at the end of the day, if you make it to the end of your days and you've lived a life full of love, integrity, fulfillment, peace, joy, and just doing the right thing and helping others and leaving your impact on the world, I feel like that will get me to that day, and I won't have any regrets because I left it all on the line. I left it all on the court. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. But it's wild how simple it is. And by no means, look, let me clear things up. By no means am I trying to demonize anybody or anything, or even just the idea of buying new things and having nice things and accumulating nice things. I love nice things. I'm going to accumulate nice things as a natural byproduct of how I'm living my life. That's absolutely the case. I love nice things. I want to have nice things. There's no problem with that. I am merely saying don't get so attached to the point where the things you own end up owning you, because that's when it becomes unhealthy. That's when it becomes an unhealthy obsession. You know what I'm saying? And that's where detachment and learning how to practice that detachment becomes very, very vital in your life and important, because when you learn how to let go, you learn how to just flow. And that's just the real truth, for real, for real. And, I think a lot of people are familiar with the term minimalism and living a minimalistic lifestyle and this, that, and the third. And if you aren't, check out that documentary on Netflix. It's a real dope one. It's called The Minimalist, I believe. And they got podcasts too. These guys are honestly like some of the biggest inspirations to me, because they found so much joy in the simplicity of life and just having like quality over quantity, and being grateful for all the things that they have. And then also learning how to be resourceful. You know what I'm saying? Because in today's consumerism market, this capitalistic society, again, not trying to demonize it, because I'm part of it, and I'm learning how to utilize all the different um, advantages that I have by being here in America. You know what I'm saying? We have opportunities galore out here, but at the same time, if we get so caught up in keeping up with the Joneses and having all these fancy things just to impress other people or to show off, I don't think that's a healthy way to live. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely not a humble way to live. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the cold, hard truth. You know what I'm saying? So you can like it or not. It's just the truth. It's just a fact. But learn about minimalism, learn about the effects it could possibly bring into your life, because I can absolutely attest to it. I am a prime example of how minimalism has helped shape my life and helped me create a better life so far. And I, as I always like to say, the best is yet to come. But for me, minimalism has helped me learn how to adapt to my situation. And I came to the realization that, I'm currently single. I ain't got no kids. I ain't got no house, none of that. So I just decided ultimately to learn how to let go of my possessions so that I can create space, and I can, become more lighter. I can just let go of a bunch of stuff. And that allowed me to make this move out here to Hawaii. And I haven't regretted it one bit. Yes, I might have experienced some homesickness and whatnot, but I love it where I'm at. I'm learning every day. The experience over here has been so amazing so far. And again, the best is yet to come. But learning that minimalistic approach allowed me to travel way more lightly. I literally came out here with 2 suitcases and not that much stuff. Honestly, a couple pairs of shoes, some shorts, some shirts, a couple jackets. A couple jackets, and like a couple hoodies, and my podcasting stuff. That's it. I ain't really bring nothing else. And every day I'm out here in a shirt, shorts, and some slippers. You know what I'm saying? I didn't bring my car. I got my phone with me, obviously, you know what I'm saying? And certain things like that. But honestly, like I have so much more less stuff than I ever used to have. I either gave away a bunch of stuff to Goodwill, or I sold a bunch of my stuff. And at a really good price too, because I wanted to help other people. I'm not trying to sit here and brag about, oh, I'm helping all these other people, but that was definitely my intention in mind, was to provide a little bit of help, you know what I'm saying? Provide a little bit of support, and just give things that weren't really being used by me no more. As a matter of fact, they were occupying space. They were making it harder for me to make a move like this, because there were things that were like anchors weighing me down. And when you got like an anchor, it's hard for the boat to move, obviously, right? You got to lift the anchor up, and you got to, go from there. But those were like anchors to me. So learning how to let go and detach myself from all these different things, and even learning how to detach myself from my family and my friends, that is like the hardest thing. And it's like, I'm not like detached forever, right? It's more of just learning how to be okay with having distance between us, this much distance, because I'm always be connected with my people. I love my people, my family, my friends. I got friends for life. I got friends that turn into family, and my family. I love my family for real. Matter of fact, I'm gonna see my family pretty soon. They coming out here for my cousin's wedding, and I can't wait. I'm really excited. Definitely focused on each day and just taking it one day at a time. But I do know that on the horizon, I do got some family coming, so I'm really excited about that. And I'm just doing my best to enjoy this process, enjoy this journey, and taking y'all along with me. So, um, kind of in wrapping up this episode, I wanted to show you all a book that's been really important to me. It's called The Seven Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. If you haven't heard about this book, do your research, check it out. It's a dope book. It's an old book. If you're not familiar with who Deepak Chopra is, that man is somebody that's made a tremendous impact on a lot of people's lives, helped shift perspectives and get people more in tune with their spirituality. And this book talks a lot about the laws of the universe, right? And specifically the laws of success and detachment, learning how to let go and just give is one of the best things you can do for yourself to attract more. It's pretty crazy and wild the way it works. And again, I'll let y'all know, I stand on this. I've given away so much, and in return, I've been given so much more. Um, and it's again less than 2 weeks into this experience. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you every single detail of what's been happening over here in Hawaii, but it's been amazing. I'm just so lucky, so fortunate, so blessed, and so grateful. And I also know that a lot of it has to do with the way I've shifted my life and learning how to let go, learning how to give more, give up. And it doesn't always have to be like material possessions. It doesn't always have to be something that's physical. You can give of your energy, give of your time, give of your love, give of your space to hold space for people, right? There's all these different ways that you can give. So it's not all about like, oh, I'll give you the shirt off my back, which I will for somebody if need be. But it's more about like understanding that there's always something you can give, right? So I think that's like one of the great ways to kind of like wrap up this podcast episode. I think I shared a lot about detachment, but I think I want to end it with this exactly. Detachment, when you learn how to do it, when you learn how to practice it and implement it into your life, quite often, what you start to feel is this sense of liberation, this sense of freedom, this sense of feeling light, like I said earlier, right? And then with that freedom, I can do more because I have less. And it's just so interesting, the dynamic of how that works, but it's so true at the same time. I think there's many of us, and myself included, I was guilty of it, that would just have so much shit and it was always just looking to shop for more shit and didn't even have space for it. Didn't even have space for it. And I put such an emphasis on accumulating all this material stuff, all these possessions, which, served its purpose in the time, at that time, like I really thought they were important things, you know what I'm saying? And to some people, they are important things. I'm not trying to take away from the fact that, material possessions could be important for people. I'm merely saying that for me, learning how to let go of that stuff and not be so attached has had amazing effects on my life personally. And at the same time, it's attracted so much more in return. It's just wild the way that works. It's wild. It's funny. It's simple, but it's true. And I'm learning that more and more, learning how to give genuinely, authentically, with a real energy behind it. You know what I'm saying? And that actually attracts more affluence. That's what this book says. The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. I read it a couple times already. I'm actually currently reading it for like the 3rd time now. Big Sean talks about this book. It's a great book. A bunch of people point back to this book. Deepak Chopra is somebody that definitely has shown a lot of people the light that's within themselves and helped me recognize it in myself as well. So shout out to Deepak Chopra, shout out to Big Sean, shout out to anybody that puts this book on. 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. And I'm not sponsored by them either. I'm just putting y'all on some game. But with that being said, y'all, I'm going to wrap up this episode because I think that was a lot about detachment. I'm going to wrap up this episode. I'm going to wrap up season 3 of the Blessed Beyond Measure podcast. And we are going to turn the page on a new season of the Blessed Beyond Measure podcast, season 4. Season 4, like 4 rings, like the Golden State Warriors have. You know what I'm saying? And we just gonna keep it moving. I think that I'm gonna come into this new season with an invigorated spirit, a new sense of just positivity, a healthy spirit, a healthy mind, a healthy soul, and just, sharing everything that I can with y'all to provide value. And I hope that this episode does exactly that, provide you some value. I hope there's something you could take away from this, something you can learn, something you can learn to incorporate and apply. And hit me up, tap in with me. Let me know if any of this resonated with you. And if there's anything that you took from this episode and started to apply in your life and you started to feel these different effects in your life, or if you just want to talk about some stuff to clear some stuff up, I'm more than happy to engage with y'all. Tap in with me at the Blessed Beyond Measure podcast on Instagram and at CL the source, CL _ the source, on Instagram as well. Also, Blessed Beyond Measure podcast at gmail.com. Hit me up on the emails. We can make it happen. All right, y'all. So with that being said, thank you once again for tuning in to yet another episode. I'm your friendly neighborhood hope dealer signing off. Stay up and stay blessed, y'all. Peace. Yeah. Listen.